You cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. We must be free not because we claim freedom, but because we practice it. The past is never dead. It's not even past. Always dream and shoot higher than you know you can do. Do not bother just to be better than your contemporaries or predecessors. Try to be better than yourself. Given the choice between the experience of pain and nothing, would choose pain. The saddest thing about love, Joe, is that not only the love cannot last forever, but even the heartbreak is soon forgotten. Perhaps they were right putting love into books. Perhaps it could not live anywhere else. How often have I lain beneath rain on a strange roof, thinking of home? The next time you try to seduce anyone, don't do it with talk, with words. Women know more about words than men ever will. And they know how little they can ever possibly mean. Memory believes before knowing remembers. Believes longer than recollects, longer than knowing even wonders. I'm bad and I'm going to hell, and I don't care. I'd rather be in hell than anywhere where you are. Clocks slay time. Time is dead as long as it is being clicked off by little wheels. Only when the clock stops does time come to life. You don't love because you love despite, not for the virtues, but despite the faults. You can't beat women anyhow, and that if you are wise or dislike trouble and uproar, you don't even try to. Some days in late August at home are like this, the air thin and eager like this, with something in it sad and nostalgic and familiar. A man is the sum of his misfortunes. One day you'd think misfortune would get tired, but then time is your misfortune. It's not when you realize that nothing can help you, religion, pride, anything. It's when you realize that you don't need any aid. It takes two people to make you, and one people to die. That's how the world is going to end. Most men are a little better than their circumstances give them a chance to be. A writer needs three things: experience, observation, and imagination, any two of which, at times any one of which, can supply the lack of the others. War and drink are the two things man is never too poor to buy. A bus station is where a bus stops. A train station is where a train stops. On my desk, I have a workstation. She loved him not only in spite of, but because he himself was incapable of love. Don't bother just to be better than your contemporaries or predecessors. Try to be better than yourself. Get it down. Take chances. It may be bad, but it's the only way you can do anything good. People to whom sin is just a matter of words, to them salvation is just words too. A gentleman accepts the responsibility of his actions and bears the burden of their consequences. I never know what I think about something until I read what I've written on it. Caddy got the box and set it on the floor and opened it. It was full of stars. When I was still, they were still. When I moved, they glinted and sparkled. I hushed. The problems of the human heart in conflict with itself, which alone can make good writing, because only that is worth writing about, worth the agony and the sweat. An artist is a creature driven by demons. He doesn't know why they choose him, and he's usually too busy to wonder why. The reason you will not say it is, when you say it, even to yourself, you will know it is true. I could just remember how my father used to say that the reason for living was to get ready to stay dead a long time. The artist doesn't have time to listen to the critics. The ones who want to be writers read the reviews. The ones who want to write don't have the time to read reviews. It's all now, you see. Tomorrow began yesterday, and yesterday won't be over until tomorrow. Everything in Los Angeles is too large, too loud, and usually banal in concept. The plastic asshole of the world. I love Virginians because Virginians are all snobs, and I like snobs. A snob has to spend so much time being a snob that he has little time left to meddle with you. And even a liar can be scared into telling the truth, same as honest man can be tortured into telling a lie. I know now that what makes a fool is an inability to take even his own good advice. He was looking at her from behind the smiling that wasn't smiling but was something you were not supposed to see beyond. A mule will labor 10 years willingly and patiently for you, for the privilege of kicking you once. This does not matter. This is not anything yet. It all depends on what you do with it afterward. If you could just revel out into time. That would be nice. It would be nice if you could just revel out into time. War is an episode, a crisis, a fever, the purpose of which is to rid the body of fever. So the purpose of a war is to end the war. To live anywhere in the world today and be against equality because of race or color is like living in Alaska and being against snow. Everyone in the South has no time for reading because they are all too busy writing. I suppose that people, using themselves and each other so much by words, are at least consistent in attributing wisdom to a still tongue. I only write when I am inspired. Fortunately, I am inspired at 9 o'clock every morning. A writer is congenitally unable to tell the truth, and that is why we call what he writes fiction. She is like all the rest of them. Whether they are 17 or 47, when they finally come to surrender completely, it's going to be in words. Though children can accept adults as adults, adults can never accept children as anything but adults too. Any live man is better than any dead man, but no live or dead man is very much better than any other live or dead man. I don't hate it, he thought, panting in the cold air, the iron New England dark. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I took out my watch and listened to it clicking away, not knowing it couldn't even lie. He has never been known to use a word that might send a reader to the dictionary. Even sound seemed to fail in this air, like the air was worn out with carrying sounds so long. All of us failed to match our dreams of perfection. So I rate us on the base of our splendid failure to do the impossible. Tell about the South. What's it like there? What do they do there? Why do they live there? Why do they live at all? Like a fellow running from or toward a gun ain't got time to worry whether the word for what he is doing is courage or cowardice. It's like it ain't so much what a fellow does, but it's the way the majority of folks is looking at him when he does it. When I have one martini, I feel bigger, wiser, taller. When I have a second, I feel superlative. When I have more, there's no holding me. There is something about jumping a horse over a fence, something that makes you feel good. Perhaps it's the risk, the gamble. In any event, it's a thing